Hi everyone, James Egersdorff here, previewing Game Week 14 on the FPL Fantasy Football. Game Week 13's only just passed and it was really quite an action-packed weekend. Half decent game week myself, bit of ups and downs. So the ups, I'm up to just outside the top 300 overall, which is great. Score of 61 points. Harry Kane just about getting back on form. He kept me waiting, but got his goal and a couple of bonus points. Really poor transfer on the other hand, so I had 2 free transfers and decided that I'd try and free up a bit of cash. So I got rid of Fabianski, and we all know Fabianski had a really good game week. Put in Speroni, who was only at 4 million, and he didn't play. He's on the bench. So I've got to reverse the transfer now, coming up. Luckily, I've still got Rob Elliott on the bench as a reserve, as an option, but obviously they got tonked quite heavily at home to Watford, so not much good there. But the good news at this time of year, the games come thick and fast, so a couple of days later you get to make amends and have another go. So on to Game Week 14. I'm going to chat about some strategy that I think you need to roll out this time of year. I'm going to talk about Chelsea, I'm going to talk about Man United, and I'm going to chat about some budget defensive options. I spoke about some budget attackers in my last video for Game Week 13. So the strategy, people are asking me a lot at the minute, what do you think of this player, what do you think of that player, should I sign him, should I sign him? What you need to do at this time of year is ask 2 questions of every player that you buy. The first thing you need to do is look at the fixtures, and I think you should almost plan a mini season now. So your mini season goes from this game week to the one before the game, the FA Cup third round, which is the first weekend or second weekend in January. So there's about 7 or 8 game weeks. So every player that you look at their fixtures between that time period and work out how many really good fixtures they have. The second thing you need to do, think of that individual and work out who are they in competition with for their position. So take Zappacosta at Chelsea as an example. So he, at the minute, is in the team, he's playing right fullback, he's playing very well currently. But if you were to buy him for this game week, you've got 2 major challenges to his role in the team. You've got Victor Moses and you've got Azpilicueta. And Zappacosta himself, I don't think he can play any other position than right fullback, so you're very limited to his likelihood of keeping his place every week over Christmas. So you've got to ask yourself those 2 questions. Speaking of Chelsea, I was at the match on Saturday at Anfield, and I have to say how exceptional I thought Hazard was. This guy always looks good on TV, but in the flesh he looks unreal. He's on really good form. Morata impressed me as well, as did Azpilicueta, and I could see some of the reasons why he picks up so many bonus points. The amount of times he was there to clear, intercepting crosses, intercepting passes, reading the game really, really well. Liverpool, on the other hand, I thought they looked fairly dangerous. Coutinho was a little off the boil, I felt, but Salah, I thought, was exceptional. Obviously, he's on a great run of goal-scoring form, but clearly, by quite a long chalk, he was their best player on the day. So I do feel, given their run of fixtures, I think you need to be looking at a Chelsea player at the minute. If you don't have one, I think now's the time, given they've got a couple of home games and some nice fixtures after that in the next few. So I'd be looking at a Chelsea player, getting one into your squad. Man United, people asking me, I've got Lukaku, I've got Jones. Some people have 3 Man United players in their squad. I'd probably consider at the minute maybe decreasing that if you've got 2 or more. And that's simply because I don't think they're playing that well. And equally, I don't think the fixtures are that great. Watford away is the next one. I think that's quite tricky. So teams that have a good run, Tottenham, although not playing fantastic, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, there's quite a lot of options opening up now for you to move on to. Next, I'm going to chat about some bargain options. So I did quite well last week with my attacking predictions. So I said Calvert-Lewin, Loftus-Cheek, Ashley Young, and I said Peter Crouch. And Crouch didn't come back with any attacking returns. The other 3 did. Defensively, I think there's a couple of good goalkeepers that have come out as options now, and that are fairly cheap. So in at 4.4 is about to embark on a couple of good home games, and I think they might turn a corner form rise, and that's West Brom's Ben Foster, normally a very reliable goalie. Equally, and I predicted it last week, I said that I think Palace would start turning a corner, and whilst they didn't keep a clean sheet, Hennessy now finds himself in at 4.3. He could be a good option for you. I think at the back, Watford have really impressed me. I really like the look of Cabaselli at centre half. The lad playing fullback, Firmino, looks really good. He's picking up bonus points, and the chap on the other side, Zubala, I think his name is. He's coming up with assists now. He's only just got into the team, so I'll be a bit more careful with that one. He's a little cheaper. I think he's 4.4, so that they could be options for you. If you look at Watford's fixtures, they've got United and Spurs at home. And then they've got a really good run over Christmas, so there could be some options for you. Equally, Bournemouth are on a really good defensive run right now. They've not let in a goal in 3 games. Charlie Daniels is probably the household pick of the bunch, but I really like the look of Steve Cook. He's in a little cheaper at 4.8. He's a real attacking threat for them off set pieces. If you want to gamble, Simon Francis, the club captain, is available at 4.4. He's not in the team, so he's banned for the last games. It's whether or not he gets back in. So that might be a bit of a risk, but if you've not got the cash, he could be somebody to turn to in the next few weeks. So I hope that's helpful moving into the next game week. Don't forget the deadline, 6:45 European time. Greenwich Mean Time. So be careful that you don't get caught on that one. I'll be doing another preview video for Game Week 15. So if there's any questions that you want to ask, anything you want me to cover, please comment in the box below. Thanks for everybody who's subscribed, everybody who's interacted on the YouTube channel. Keep reaching out to me on Twitter, sharing, commenting, liking, etc. Really appreciate all the good feedback, and enjoy the next game week. Cheers.